Hello, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the Miss Blue Radio Show. I am with Southstar Music Group recording artist, singer, and songwriter Nicole Lundy. Nicole, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to adjust to the weather.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
now it went from hot to now it's kind of cold, and now everybody's sick.
yeah. So, same. It's so up and down.
Yes, it is, but that's the good thing about Houston, Texas, right?
Right.
Okay, so I like to dive into it. And you're beautiful, by the way. I wanted to
Thank
say
you.
that too.
You.
Thank you before we started. Let's tell the people a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, how you got started in music, and what kind of inspired you to get into the craft.
Okay. Well, I'm from Galveston, Texas. Island girl. They be
Hey,
hating
nothing
on
wrong
this,
with
but I'm a
that.
little island girl. But I'm from Galveston. I grew up in church, so I've been singing since I was maybe like 4 or 5. I would always be singing around the house, getting on my brother's nerves, and so it was just always in me. I probably started songwriting when I was like early teenage, 13, 14 maybe. Maybe even as early as 12, just kind of trying to figure out how to format songs and things like that. And then when I got to college, one of my friends actually had a studio in his apartment, and that's kind of how I started in the studio and recording and just kind of getting my feet wet in the recording process. So that's
Okay,
how I started
that's
out.
nice. You said also you took the craft so serious that it trickled all the way to college.
Yeah.
So tell us that process, like becoming, you had to grow into yourself. So becoming a young singer and writer and trying to figure it out, what made you get it together in college and say, hey, this is what I want to do. And I know that this is what I'm supposed to do.
Honestly, I always enjoyed singing, but I didn't really like take it serious at first. I guess you could say like I was just in the studio at my friend's apartment, just kind of playing around, like just trying to figure out like what to do, how to do it. So initially, it was kind of like a hobby because I enjoyed it. And then I was like, I should probably take this serious because God actually gave me a gift. Like, I actually can listen to a beat and start to write something immediately, or like I just hear how things are supposed to sound, I guess. And so I just kind of start perfecting my craft. Like it took me time to hear how things are supposed to sound. No, you format it this way, but I guess a hobby turned into something that I actually wanted to do. And so for me, I love the creative process. That's the best part about being a musician is the creative process. I love singing, but the back end part,
Yeah.
writing the song and being in the studio, that's my favorite part. So
Well, you said something that I love to hear is when people pay homage to God. I do believe that some of us do stuff as a hobby, and then some of us
mhm.
it's embedded in our soul, and that is
Yeah,
definitely what you're supposed to do. And you have
yeah.
a very pretty voice because I got to check
Thank
it out.
you.
But we're going to get to that later. I want to stay on the
Okay.
course. I want to
Okay.
stay on the course. So, who were some of the artists that you grew up on that may have inspired your sound, even though you sound like yourself? I'm saying
hmm
inspired your sound. People that you looked up to and was like, I love her, I love him. As far as music artists,
Oh, Brandy for sure. Brandy is one of my favorites. Just the way, the tone of her voice, the way she stacks her vocals, everything about Brandy I love. So, Brandy for sure. Whitney Houston, of course. Jasmine Sullivan is another one. I'm like a deep fan of Jasmine Sullivan since her like early
yes.
projects. So those for sure are people that I definitely enjoy listening to. Tony Braxton, I love Tony Braxton as well. So.
Oh, you know what? You name like nothing but greats. So
Yeah.
that's why you sound so, to me you sound very advanced.
hmm
You can tell when someone can sing opposed to someone that's throwing a lot of auto tune on their
Yeah.
vocals. And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be mean. I'm very raw.
Yeah. I don't like autotune. My
Yeah,
my manager will tell you like when you mix it, please don't put much autotune because she will tell you to take it
I
off.
can. Yeah, I hear smooth vocals, and I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she can sing. Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
which goes to me saying next, there was a list of R&B. I don't know where this list was compiled, but they said the current R&B singers were Caesar, Summer Walker, and Ari Lennox. All three amazing voices, but
Yeah.
why just three? And it's so sad. Like, what do you think? Like, since you started your R&B journey and writing, how do you feel like music has evolved and had more doors opened up for R&B artists that are female?
Honestly, the sound to me, I really want us to get back to, because I do it a lot in my music, like stacking the vocals and having those harmonies and those eargasms and those moments in music where you're just like, oh my God. Like,
Right.
Jasmine Sullivan does it a lot. Brandy still does it, of course. But like, I feel like the newer artists, sometimes they don't really, it's just kind of that lead vocal. So for me, I would want to hear more of that. If we could get back to that, that would be great. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think they're creating a new sound. I mean, everything has to evolve. But I think there are other artists outside of those three that are also great. Like her, I love her. She's
Oh, she's amazing.
amazing. So yeah,
She's definitely amazing.
she
And
is.
then she plays instruments and stuff.
Yeah, her voice is so smooth. So
Yes. So
for
no,
sure.
I agree with you. I feel like I kind of was like, this is this a current list? Because you can't forget like the Beyonce's and Kelly Rowland.
Of
Oh
course,
my
of
gosh,
course.
like
But I guess they're still present, of course.
right,
But I guess if we have to talk about like the ones that are kind of in this day and time, I guess the newcomers, then those
right.
probably would be, out of the newcomers. But of course, you can't forget the old school girls.
True. No, you
They
can't.
still
I
holding it
grew up on
down.
old school R&B all day. I
Me
would see.
too. The '90s, early 2000s. That's my lane
Yes.
right there. I love it.
Yes, me too. So, with you being an R&B singer but also a songwriter, do you
Hmm.
also write for other artists?
I do. I really want to get into it more. But yeah, I have before for sure, for sure. And then I do a lot of features as well. So I do work with a lot of other artists as far as putting like vocals and background vocals and things like that. So yeah, for sure.
Do you think that it's harder to write for other artists? Because it's like this. When you're writing a song, right, you know how you want the sound to go, and then
Exactly.
you give it
Yeah.
to them and you like, that's not how I saw that song going. But do you
Yeah.
find it hard to kind of like channel another artist and what they're feeling opposed to when you're writing for yourself?
Um, I think because I even do it too. Like, when you actually know your sound and you know how you hear it in your head, like somebody will give me an idea and then I turn it and make it my own. So I can't get mad when other people do the same thing, I guess, because you do kind of get adjusted to how it sounded when you was doing the reference, and then it's
Right.
like when they change it, it's like okay, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's, but they do have to make the record fit them because it's for them. So
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
No, you're fair because I know me back in the day, like the stories I get, I was like, just give me the song, just give me the song,
yeah,
I'll do it myself. Pretty bad, but
yeah.
how would you say, Nicole, that you deal with the balances and the pressures of the music industry with your own personal well being? And when I say that, I'm meaning that it's a lot for women artists. We're told that we
Hmm.
have to dress like this. We're not dressing sexy
Of
enough. We're
course.
dressing way too sexy. Like, how do you say, I'm going to do Nicole, and this is how Nicole is going to do it? How do you maneuver through that?
Honestly, if I would have been a little more lenient, I probably could have been more, advanced than where I am. But
Mhm.
I think all things take time, and I won't rush God and put a time because maybe I wasn't seasoned enough when I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's just like I just stick to my morals and my values. Like I know for a fact there's things that I'm not gonna do, and
Mhm.
you can't talk me into to doing it because I'm just not gonna do it. But I do understand as a woman that sex does sell. So you do got to give a little something, but I ain't giving too much.
Yeah, you gotta give just a
You
little
got to
bit,
give
just
a little something, but I ain't giving
mhm,
too much.
a little thigh action.
A little time, a little something, not too much. But yeah, I just stayed true to who I am. Like I know what I want to do and how I want to look, and I know how I want to be represented. So I just stick to my morals. It's the easiest thing to do.
I always tell people that sticking to your morals is easier said than done,
It
especially when
is, yeah,
money is presented to you.
yeah,
But
for sure.
I would say you have a great image and look about yourself, so you're doing
Thank
a
you,
great job. Keep that up.
thank you.
let's say this: if you could collaborate with any artist,
Hmm.
let's just stick with the R&B. Like I'm gonna be fair and say a female and a male.
Okay.
Who would it be and why?
Whew, that's a tough one.
I know it's
Um,
always
it's always hard. I don't know. I would have to probably say, I think I would in present time I would probably want to work with Jasmine Sullivan just because she
nice.
evolves her sound so much, and she's an awesome writer. I feel like I could learn so much from her throughout the process, and just like her vocal ability. And male, I would probably say Chris Brown. I love
Okay,
Chris Brown.
nice. I'm not. Look, I almost thought. I almost thought. Hear me out. You were gonna say Usher.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I can see that. But so those are great. Now, Jasmine Sullivan. What is your favorite Jasmine Sullivan song?
My favorite Jasmine Sullivan song. Oof. Stuttering is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Forever Don't Last is another one of my favorites. 10 Seconds, I Need You Bad.
Oh,
Um, Pick Up Your Feelings. It's a lot of them.
I was waiting for you, Nicole. I was waiting for you to say that because that
It's a lot of
song
them. Yeah.
is embedded in my mind. I'm
Yeah.
responsible for 100,000 streams. I think
Yeah. Even Insecure. I like Insecure too. She got a
that's
lot
a
of,
good
I
one.
love a lot of songs by her. So,
Yes, absolutely. I'm definitely a big fan myself.
yeah.
So tell us, like, when you're getting into the zone, right? I like to ask artists this question because I think it's so funny the way a lot of artists don't know that they do this. But before you get on that stage and perform, it is something that you do.
Hmm.
What is your like pre routine that you have to do before you hit the stage?
Ooh, I wish I could take a shot, but for me, drinking and singing don't work.
I was about to say, Nicole, like I couldn't do that. No.
I can't. I wish I could. I wish I was one of those people that could drink before they got on stage, but I just can't. Otherwise, I'm gonna sound crazy. But
Yes.
I think my nerves be going. So I think I always pray. I always be like, God, please let me do a good job. Don't let me forget no words. Don't let me mess up. Don't let me fall. Don't let me like I just be nervous. You know, all the thoughts, the things that could go wrong that be going in
Right.
my head. So I think that's probably what I always do right before I hit the stage. But yeah.
Nothing wrong with prayer because it'll definitely get you right.
Right.
Definitely before a shot because I'll forget the words. I don't know about you. People will be
Definitely
singing my
forget the
songs.
words. I'll be slurring words. I can't do it.
Terrible. Yes. Terrible. I want to go back some because I feel like this is important just for people that don't know you to know.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about you growing up. We talked about some of your influences, but did you have support in your home on your rise to becoming an R&B artist? Like, did your mom support you, your dad, siblings, if you have any? How was that?
You know, that's something that I always reflect on. I feel like my mom supported me as best as she could. My mom is a lot older. My mom had me when she was 43.
Okay.
So I feel like she didn't really have the tools that she needed, so she couldn't do it for me. I think that she always told me I was talented, but I feel like maybe if I could have got vocal lessons earlier, worked with someone earlier, like I could have progressed a lot faster. But I don't hold it against her, but I just know as a mother, if I see my son is interested in something and he's good at it, I'm going to try to sharpen him as much as I can because that's obviously a talent that he has. But I definitely wish, you know, as a child, I would have, you know, had that. But I think all things happen how they're supposed to. So I don't regret it, you know.
And I think that's fair because a lot of people, sometimes the parents, they really don't know
Right,
how to maneuver with a child that's a creator. And I
right,
tell people it's very hard to be that creative child
right,
because you don't always know how to channel it, and people think you're
right,
crazy and wild, but it's just you just have
right.
these ideas. So,
Yeah,
but that's good that you don't hold it against her, and then you're still doing your thing with the music, and that's always like a plus to me.
Yeah,
So
she
in
was a single
terms,
mother. She had 5 kids. She couldn't just focus on me. But
okay, so well, the siblings, are they also musically inclined, or they do something totally different?
yeah, my oldest brother, he passed away. He could play
Sorry to
the
hear that.
guitar and the keyboard, and he could sing. His voice was flawless.
Wow.
And my other brother, he plays the drums, and then my youngest brother, he plays just about everything too. And he also produces. So he's really good at that. And then my sister, she doesn't have anything.
She said she doesn't
She
have
can't
anything.
do nothing,
I
but
hope she's not listening, Nicole.
she can't sing, she can't play nothing. She
You
missed it.
know, you know what? It's okay. It's okay.
But I
She
have
can
uncles
support
and
though,
aunts that
right?
can sing too, so huh?
Does she support at least?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
she will support. That's one thing.
Okay.
That was the gift she was given, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, because the gift of supporting is just as important,
Yeah, that's
Nicole.
important too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make her
So
feel special.
yes. Let me ask you this: if you were not pursuing music, or R&B singer and songwriter,
Uh-huh.
what would you be doing like for a profession? What would you be trying to do?
I think my ultimate goal when I do get older, I want to be a therapist.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I really want to like help people work through their issues and talk to people. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to school for it, but we'll see.
Okay, I
If
like
I
that.
had to
Nothing
choose,
wrong with
that
being
would
a
probably
therapist,
be
girl.
yeah.
I can see it. I can see it. So, who is your dream producer? Now I know that might be a little bit tough because they out there. They out
Yeah.
there, and you are old school. You got an old school soul, even though you're young. So it sounds like I'm just ready to hear this question, this answer. Who is your dream producer to work with?
Probably Dark Child.
You know
Yeah,
what?
probably Dark
I'm
Child.
good. I did not tell you it was gonna be an old school. He did Brandy justice, did he not?
Oh, Full Moon, please. That's my favorite Brandy album. He did
Played
that.
it into its skip, Nicole. I don't know about you. Played it into its skip.
Yes. He did that.
Yeah, so that's amazing. Like, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah,
I
for
can see
sure, for
that.
sure.
Now, there's a lot of influence,
Mm-hmm.
bad influence,
Yeah.
some good.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very, ooh, the industry has changed. I just seen the whole, the how it evolved. How would you say? Do you think that it's easier now because we have social media and the internet, and then most, like, if you're a millennial, you're probably not, but the millennials, I know we grew up with going to the mall and passing out
Right,
CDs. Do you
right.
think
Yeah.
it's that the internet and the digital age made it easier to connect to your fans and put music out and kind of show your personality?
I think it made it easier as far as feeling like they're everyday people because I feel like when we didn't have social media and stuff, we really looked at them as celebrities. Like, and I feel like now with social media, it's kind of like it's you can see that they're everyday people. Um, but honestly, I enjoyed the era when we didn't really have social media like that. We had MySpace. You literally had to go home and wait for the computer to log up and the
Who you
internet
telling?
to dial up, and you only had like an hour or two on the computer. And I miss those times. I feel like we're so glued to our phone. Everything is so accessible. It's just like so much information all at once. But I don't know. I can't say well, I can't say. I would prefer before. But I think that it's nice though that you do get to connect with your fans a little bit more. So I guess I
I
could see
do.
both sides. Yeah.
Look, I'm with you on that though.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see both.
I'm with you because I feel like sometimes, and I'm gonna ask you this next, like the pressure
Hmm.
of, let's just keep it real, like there's a lot of beautiful women, but I feel
Hmm.
like the industry and I feel like mainstream makes this false persona of what we should
Hmm.
look like, and
Right.
now you got these massive BBLs, you got
Right. Yeah.
these huge breasts, and nothing is wrong with it. And I'm not knocking anyone, but how do you deal with that? And I don't want to say it's competition. I don't feel like it's
Yeah.
competitive. I just feel like, how do you stay true to yourself without the influence of things like that? And even Nicki Minaj, I know she's a rapper, but Nicki even said before she got in the industry, she was a
Yeah.
very slim girl, very pretty,
Right. Right.
but everybody was pushing her to get this.
Everybody around her, yeah.
Yeah.
So she felt like she needed to.
How do you feel about that, and how do you deal with that?
I'm scared of surgery. If you can do it, I'm not gonna knock you. I support you. But me
Right.
personally, I'm scared of surgery. Like, what if I go in and I come out looking worse than I went in? Because a lot of these doctors are like just massively just doing the surgeries and just turning people over. They don't really care about the results. It just depends on where you go. If you go somewhere good,
True.
um, but I'm scared that I'm gonna come out worse than what I went in. So I just rather not touch nothing. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you need that confidence boost and you feel like that's what you need to do, I think it's different because with rappers, they all have it. So it's almost like if you don't,
Right.
like even with Glorilla, she's very petite, and people be like, she need to get her chest,
But
or she
she's
needs
and
to,
she's
and
perfect.
she's like, no, I want to, like, and I love that for her. Like,
Me
stick to
too.
it. Like, she's so cute.
She
But
is.
I mean, for R&B singers, it's not really as, I guess, a thing. Like a lot of them have like, naturally slim
True.
kind of more. So it just really kind of depends on the industry you're in, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's classy. I like
Yeah.
that. If you could create your dream tour lineup, now this one might not, it might be a little bit hard because sometimes you have to think
Yeah.
like, who do I want? You don't want to leave nobody out. But
Right.
if you could go on tour with however many people you wanted, it could just be a few, a lot. Who would it be on this tour with Nicole Lundy, and why?
Oh, I don't know. Um, Honestly, I think I would want to have like some local artists or some other artists that are dope that a lot of people don't know about, and just kind of maybe put them on or something like that. Because there's a lot of dope artists in Houston, a lot of artists
Very true.
that are very talented. I think I would want to do something like that versus just trying to, I guess, put together a lineup of artists that already have that fan base.
Okay, so you wouldn't throw Mr. Brown on the tour?
Oh yeah, I probably. I probably thought
Let me stop being messy. You would throw Chris on the tour. But no,
he
there
come on.
is a lot of talent. There is a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
talent. So that, I think that would be cool. I think
yeah,
that would be nice for you to do
yeah.
in a time and industry where
Mhm.
if you're a filler, you feel a lot, you take on a lot of energies. How do you stay inspired in your craft? How do you stay the course, and how do you stay focused on making the best music you could possibly make and write?
So I go back and watch like a lot of old videos, like like old Beyonce performances, old R&B performances, just stuff like that. Try to get myself inspired and motivated because sometimes I can feel like I'm not being creative or like I'm just not in the creative space. So in order for me to get inspired, like I need to see somebody doing their best, like and giving it their all, and that kind of inspires me to um, get my butt up and record something. So
Right?
yeah, that's kind of my thing.
And is that how you also deal with writer's block, or is that a whole different beast?
Oh, with writer's block,
I hate
yeah,
it.
sometimes I get creative and sometimes I just let myself naturally get back into the space. Because if I sit there and try to force myself to write something, it's not gonna be as good as if I was naturally in that moment. So
Mhm.
I do sometimes just let myself breathe and just kind of find my way back. Or sometimes I'll go on YouTube and I'll listen to different beats and see if anything inspires me to write or to get creative. And then I'll go back to the project that I was working on. It just all depends. So
And so it's like I always tell people quality over quantity. And a lot
Hmm.
of people well, I don't want to say just throw out anything, so I'll be fair. I think that there is a lot of pressure for artists
Yeah.
in general for us to continue to keep throwing stuff out. It's the summer, throw
Right.
something out. But
Yeah.
I'm not feeling a vibe. Still, throw it out. And we're
Mhm.
not giving music thought. How
Mhm.
do you navigate the pressure of constantly releasing new content and saying, I'm not feeling it right now. I'm doing something else. Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I've gotten to that state too, to where it's like if it's not the best that I have, then I don't really want to put it out. Like I know before it was kind of like, no, you need to put out, you need to put out, you need to put out. But I think I'm at the point now that it's like how you were saying, quality over quantity. If it's not the best, then I really don't want to put it out. Like I rather give 100% than 50% and do it, at a faster rate, I guess. Um, but we do have like 7 songs lined up. We plan to drop a song every month, so we
Ooh,
do got some,
I like that.
quantity coming out. So, but it's quality at the same time. So,
Nice.
yeah.
How do you deal with like the record labels and things like that? Like a lot of artists are like, I'm gonna stay independent. I don't
Mhm.
trust the labels. Some artists is like, I wish I had a label to back me up. Like how has your experience as a singer songwriter been on a music label? Because you are a signed artist.
Well, there have been times where I was by myself and doing it by myself, and I
Mhm.
will tell you it's much better to have a team, especially a team that you trust. I love my team. My team is awesome. They listen to me. They let me give my opinion of things. It's not like, no, you got to do this.
That's
Um,
good.
and they trust my opinion. They trust my voice. They trust my ideas and the things that I have in mind. So for me, it's been amazing having a team because I don't have to try to do everything myself because it's difficult trying to do everything yourself.
It will burn you out.
It will. It'll make you not want to do it no more.
It
Like,
will.
so it's definitely good to have a team, but I would say find the team that fits best for you because everybody doesn't click. So,
True. That's true. So, one of my favorite parts. I
uh-huh.
want to talk about this new music, the songs
Yes.
that I heard,
Which
Don't
one?
Let Me Down in Appreciation. But let's talk
Okay.
about the whole process with Don't Let Me Down, because that one was really like
Yeah.
heartfelt.
Yeah. So that one I was produced by one of my good friends who passed away, Major League Beats. We actually worked on that song in the studio together. We mixed it together, and so it's very, very special to me. It's one of the last songs that we kind of worked on and got together before he passed. On my new project coming up, I have another song that him and I worked on together too. Um, but that one is very, very close to my heart. So yeah.
I could tell because the the vocals, when you're listening to the music and
Hmm.
you start to get sad or pick up that mood, then
Yeah.
you know it's a really good song. And that's how I felt when I was like, let me listen to that again because it
Yeah.
really hit
Yeah.
me.
That's one of
And
my favorite songs for sure.
sorry about your friend too passing away. Rest in
Yeah.
peace. I
Yeah.
always hate to hear stories like that.
Yeah. Me too.
So what about appreciation? Talk to us about
Appreciate
that one.
appreciation was recorded. I don't know if you're familiar with Bots. He's a producer. He actually produced that one, and my manager DJ Chop actually helped me write that one. So we wrote that one together, and I recorded it with Box too. So that's how that
Oh,
song came about.
nice. And I
Yeah,
saw like the visuals, like you're giving voice, Nicole. You're
yeah.
giving visuals. Like tell us how important is it to do a visual for a song and like how hard is it? It's not really easy.
No, it's not. Especially in this day and age where you got to do content for everything, and
Yes.
we was talking about that with the new song that we have coming out. It's so much content that you have to do. Um, but I mean, I get it. Like, if you want to stay relevant and you want to appeal to people, you got to do it. But I love coming up with the ideas for the different visuals and looking up other stuff on YouTube and seeing like, how can I make this my own and just kind of being creative. So I enjoy it.
Do you think
It,
that? What do you
huh?
think about the Like, do you think when you do a visual that it kind
Mhm.
of jumps the views up? do you
I
think that
think
helps the
so.
song?
I think so. I think doing a visual, especially as an artist like that's really growing their fan base, I think it's important because it helps your fans or people that want to listen to your music like engage with you, and it helps, I guess, intrigue them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for me, I think it's important.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think it's a lot though. Like I
It
think
is.
people
I
see
be
the glitz and
tired.
glam. Yes, they be like, Nicole's so pretty, but we don't know what Nicole went through for
Right.
that
Oh my
video.
God. It is a lot. I be tired after them. Like I have one on Saturday. I was like, God be with me, because we about to
Wait,
be
this
all
coming up
day.
Saturday, you have one?
Yeah, I have another content shoot for the
Working.
Sit that's dropping next month. So
What's the name of the song?
it's called Sit.
Sick.
Sit. SIT.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you are working.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know we talking about visuals, but you're doing something this coming up Saturday. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're getting it in.
Yeah, we're
Nothing is
trying to
wrong with
get the
that.
rollout going. Trying to get the rollout going so we can dance it
Yes.
up.
Well,
Yeah.
nothing is wrong with that. So I guess it goes into my next question. Like, what
Yeah.
kind of legacy do you want to leave behind as an R&B artist, or you want people to
I
remember
think
you
my
as?
light, I think my light went dead.
Oh, okay. You still look great.
Okay, thank you. Um, for me, somebody I would want to leave a legacy as far as somebody who was actually true to their craft. Like they
Hmm.
loved what they did. You can hear it in the music. Somebody who really enjoyed, and they weren't forced to do, what they did. So for me, I think that's the legacy that I want to leave behind, and just a good catalog of music.
Oh, yes. I like what you just said. You said a good catalog of
Yeah,
music
yeah,
and something that people can hear for years to
yes,
come.
right, right.
And I love that.
Yes, for sure.
Because some people are just putting out little pieces of music here and
Anything, yeah,
there, and it's like,
yeah,
um, do you know what you're putting out, or
right.
you even care?
I think a lot of artists, honestly, you can tell the ones who actually enjoy doing music and the ones
Hmm.
who feel like it's just something to do right now. So
True.
those are the ones that kind of just put out what's going to be hot in the moment. But I want to think about the future. Like I want people to in the future to enjoy my music too.
Well, what would you hope for them to, when they hear your album that comes out? What
Hmm.
do you want this album to say? Like, if it's representing you in just one word, what would you want people to say? Okay, this reminds me of this.
Oh, this new sound that I'm putting out is very sexy, very fierce,
Mm.
very talk your shit, girl. Like it,
Okay.
it has that type of feel to it. I feel like all before I was very much heavy into love and writing ballads and
Mhm.
just talking about relationships. But now it's kind of like, well, I'm kind of in my era of building my confidence up and just realizing that I'm that girl. Like so
I
that's
love
kind
it.
of the I guess the sound that I'm going for. It's very different, very up tempo, very yeah. It's gonna make you want to move, dance, all that. So
Hey, I'm liking this. So you
yeah,
would say that sometimes when you're writing R&B, it's like it almost is like you start to write for other women. So do you think that R&B is more than just music? It's also woman empowerment. Do you see it as
yeah,
that?
yeah, for sure. I think that's kind of where I'm going with it. But I hopefully through empowering myself that I can empower others too. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah,
Girl,
yeah,
I gotta do the snap because I'm telling you, I love it. Like I love
yes,
a classy,
yes.
sexy,
But we gonna have
independent
fun,
woman. I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, for sure. It's
I
it's
love it.
definitely a lot of like bops on there for sure that you can dance to, groove to, they feel good. And they make you be like, yeah, you're right. I am that. Shoot.
Okay.
So
So
yes.
I definitely have to get like some of your music and play it on
Mhm.
the stations.
Yeah, of
We're
course.
syndicated on 6 different shows, 6 different states right now. So
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
really doing it, and I would love to have the
Yeah,
music
for
on the
sure.
show.
For
Do
sure.
you think that there's a misconception in terms of R&B? Like, do you think that people kind of or underrate the art?
Um, like as far as what do you mean?
As like sometimes people think like when it comes to R&B, I know we talked about the digital age, and I know we talked about like auto tune and things like that.
Oh yeah.
And some artists just you cannot connect. They are not connecting with their fans. Do you think
Mhm.
that there's a misconception that every R&B artist is like that, or do you think there are still ones like you that are true gems that stay true to themselves and also still connect with the fans to their music?
I think that a lot of them honestly still stay true to who they are
Okay.
as themselves and like their sound or whatever. Um, I think social media can be an influence to maybe want to
Mm-hmm.
change so that you feel like you're catering to a larger group of people, I guess. But I feel like sound wise, a lot of them really stay to their sound. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I think so.
In a moment of transparency,
Hmm.
what are some of the things that you have dealt with as a female artist, or challengers, I should say?
Um, I guess being overly sexualized.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah, I guess most people feel like that's what you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, I mean, I get it. Like I say, I don't mind giving a little something, but I'm not gonna give too much. But for me, that's always been, I guess, like a challenge is just, I guess, fighting against the overly sexualized look or the overly sexual lyrics and things like that. There's just certain things I'm not gonna say and I'm not gonna do.
Right.
Um, so I think for me, that's probably the biggest thing that I had to overcome.
No, that's fair because I trust me, I know exactly where
Yeah,
where you're coming from. It's very hard, and even in industries that you think that you don't have to overdo it already.
yeah,
Trust me, even in gospel,
yeah,
even being a first lady, it's just so much. It's like women have to do so much, and it's just
right,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy things.
yeah.
That's why we're unicorns and fairies.
You was the first lady.
No, well, I'm saying like a lot of the ones that I knew,
Oh, okay.
almost, but
Yeah.
we not. That's a different story,
Okay.
Nicole.
Okay.
Just
I
know
won't
that
get
I
in
know
your
I've seen
business.
some things. I'm like, all right, sister, she got to close the deal, so she got to wear a
Okay.
little provocative shirt or a skirt.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. Get that attention. I grew up in church, so trust me, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's just it's so it's the standards for a
Yeah.
woman is just so high, and it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
It
And
is.
so
It
I'm
is.
just like, I always like to hear what the challenges that we face, and just having a transparent moment because it's not always
Oh
glamour.
no.
It's
It's
not.
definitely different. Like men can throw on a white t-shirt and some pants and go outside and hit the stage and nobody will say anything. But let me get up here with some kitten heels and it's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Like that.
I don't even. And your toes can just be showing a little
Just a
bit over the heel. Girl, her toes was all over the heel. She got big feet, child.
they don't
Dang,
talk bad about you, yeah. So
sis.
it's just like those little things like you always gotta be like on point. Like that's
True.
probably the hardest part, yeah.
That's true. But I do appreciate, look, we laughing. I do appreciate you being transparent because,
Of course.
again, if you're telling, if someone sees you, if
Hmm.
I try to take myself out of this, but if someone scrolls across you, someone, let's just say, and that's a teenager, they would just look and just be like, oh, she's glamorous. She don't go through nothing. She just
Yeah.
super pretty. And someone hearing this needs to know that you go
Oh,
through it.
it's a lot of challenges for sure.
Yeah, it is.
It
So my favorite question, one of my favorite questions. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, or what are some of the goals and things that you would like to accomplish within the next 5 years?
I definitely would want to have like a larger catalog of music out. Definitely working with other artists for sure, whether it be collabs, whether it be writing for other artists. I just want to definitely get my hands into more of that, I guess. Um, I definitely want to open my own studio. I want to have my own studio too, so that I can also open that door to work with other artists, but create a space where people feel comfortable to create their music and they can be free, you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to do that as well. So it's my goals.
I love it, and I am praying for you. I will definitely be staying in contact with you. I think
Yeah.
have I picked your brain? I'm
Yeah, you did.
so sorry. I like to ask questions that I feel when we
They were good
leave.
questions though. Good.
Thank you. I want people to
Yeah.
say I know. I feel like I know Nicole Lundy. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate to end the interview and then it's like they're like, wait, what is
Like to
she?
get
Who
nothing
is?
from. Yeah.
So I definitely think we definitely hit on some really good things. I'm really
Yeah,
excited
of course.
about your project. Do we have a date, a possible album date, or right now are you throwing out singles? I know we talked about
Yeah.
those too.
Yeah, the album is gonna come later, but as of right now, we're putting out singles. So the next single is called "Sit," and it is coming out October 4th. So we're getting ready to roll that one out, and then, like I said, our plan is to drop a song every month for the next 7 or so months that we have kind of lined up. So I'm excited. I'm ready. I feel like this is my time, and so. I'm just ready to accept all the blessings that God has for me. So I'm excited. It's definitely something different than what I'm used to doing, but I'm excited for sure. So,
Hey, when you change it up and it's something different than what you're used to doing, it usually pops.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
remember that. So if you have any events coming up, like listening parties or anything,
yeah,
I can come out with my team and do some media
yeah.
and some
You're in
interviews and things
Houston,
like that.
right?
Say that again?
You're in Houston, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, yeah, for sure. I'll definitely let you know because I definitely do plan to have a listening party. I definitely want to do
Yeah.
that. So, yeah,
Girl, I'm
it's
your
gonna be a party.
girl. Yes, let's do that.
I'll
Okay.
definitely let you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's touch up anything that we haven't touched up on. And last minute words, like any advice that you would tell someone that's looking up to you right now, and how to go about going into the industry. What would you say?
I would just say always be yourself, stay true to you, stay true to your sound, listen to your intuition, always do what makes you feel good. Um, just, yeah, keep God first, and you can't go wrong doing that. That's what I try to do. So I wouldn't tell you
Man,
do nothing that I don't do.
I know that's right. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And where can they find you on social media? We can't leave that out.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Nicole Lundy. All of my Facebook, Twitter, Threads, everything is at Nicole Lundy. So.
Oh, look at this. I'm so sorry. Wait.
Well,
Before we leave, somebody said, she said, Chris Brown, my fave, wish you the best, girl.
thank you. I appreciate
Some
it.
Roger Hayes says, squad.
That's my manager. Hey.
Hey, Sarge Elite Sports.
Hey.
And Roger, sit release October 4th on all platforms. I know
Yeah.
that's right.
To be available on October 4th.
Yes.
All
Well,
platforms.
we will definitely keep in touch. And I do thank you for coming on the show. I've had a really great time
I did too.
with
Thank you
your
for having
people.
me. Yeah.
Yes. And I want to thank everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel. It's
Yes.
the Blue Brand, Miss Blue Radio Show _ Nicole, you can come back to my show, girl,
Thank you.
anytime. And I
Anytime.
don't tell everybody that, but I really like your personality. You remind me of like a little butterfly.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're so sweet.
Thank
Okay, so y'all make sure you follow her on social media. Make sure, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you this.
you.
Can you stream the songs right now, the two that's on Instagram that we talked about? Can you stream those yet or no?
Yes. Don't Let Me Down in Appreciation. Yes, they are available for streaming on all streaming platforms.
Okay, so y'all heard that. Make sure y'all go run them streams up. Like don't
Please.
stop. Spotify, Apple Music,
Yes.
everywhere. Just run them up.
Thank you.
And subscribe to her YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel?
Nicole Lundy as well.
Okay, you kept it easy. See, I went all
Yeah.
around the world, Nicole, and I just made sure I kept blue and everything.
Yeah. Keep it
All
simple.
right. Well, it's been amazing. May God continue to bless you, girl.
Thank
Stay
you.
beautiful, stay
Thank
fresh,
you.
stay the diva that you are. And
You too.
everyone, thank you for tuning in to the Miss Blue Radio Show. Y'all know what it is.
Bye.
Bye.